Hello world, Patricia O'Connor here, and tonight on the Bonsai balcony I am looking at my Cork Bark Oak. As I mentioned in an earlier video, and as I've mentioned in years past, this is the time of year when the tree starts to flush out some of the older leaves, and it starts to flush out some new growth at the same time. So there's a little bit of a needle exchange going on. Other years, this has actually gone bad. I've had years where we've suffered dieback over this, where way more fell off of the tree than grew back. This year, kind of like last year too, with feedings and stuff, we have seen a very profound amount of growth coming forward on this tree, and it has been a real pleasure to see. And then this year, we're falling back in our old habits. A few days ago, I hosed this tree down proper with a cocktail of neem and water. I get it concentrate, and I add a couple of blips basically in a Febreze bottle, and shake that up with tap water really good, and then you hose down the tree. At this point, it no longer smells, but it still feels oily, and for the most part, I do not see a lot of powdery mildew. I'm still seeing the leftover damage from it, and the side that faces out continues to have more dieback by the day than the side that faces in. I'm not sure what to make of that. I don't know if it's drying out because maybe it just doesn't have the root capacity to pump the water up there, so whatever side faces out gets more wind or gets more sun. Or it might be that even though this is almost a tropical, and as they hang out in the islands in Spain and stuff, it might be that it doesn't like California coastal fall light, burns it. It might be that it's kind of switched its, because I've seen this in years past, and this year we have been feeding it, and we have been seeing some really good growth and some really good ramification, but we're still having this issue where all of a sudden every day we drop a whole lot of leaves. So what I'm doing right now is looking a lot of the stuff, if we just hopefully this young stuff that was trying to replace it doesn't burn off next. We can see some of where we've been losing, there's still buds, and in some places I'm not seeing so much. So we're all going to give that a minute. I was kind of tempted to start pruning some of that back, but why don't I give even the bare branches a minute to, and by a minute I mean a couple of weeks, to see if they're going to push forth with anything, because when it comes to our weather, we are absolutely not out of the woods yet, not by a long shot. So yeah, maybe and I don't know whether I have some leaf damage here. I've already taken off a couple that were really curled up hard and dried, and that's a new shoot. So what happened to that? Did that stuff react badly because it was new to neem, or did the powdery mildew the PM already take that out before I got around to treating it? All these questions, but we still have, the good news is it's still flushing out a lot of growth. We've been fertilizing the tree continually, and we'll continue to do so. And I think it's okay with our light placement. I think if I move this even closer in like I had it before, it will be the whole time. I had it here for 2 days last time, just while I was treating it, and letting it dry out from the treatment, and then seeing where I stood on the powdery mildew. And I did that before I brought it back out, and it did substantially better. It's like at that point I pretty much stopped the dieback, and now I think it started up again since I put it out. So maybe it'll go. Maybe it'll just stay here for a couple more days until I get a better handle on this. I'll keep it close enough to the lights that it can still photosynthesize. By the time I go back to work in a couple day after tomorrow, I will have figured out a placement that's got it in a more permanent light setting. But with sundown now, I don't have to worry about this until tomorrow morning at least. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. I think this little stuff that doesn't really have, that's my wire, that's my copper wire. I think most of this stuff, a lot of it I'm seeing doesn't, I don't know, maybe 50-50. When it comes to how much of it looks like it doesn't have any buds on it at all. But on the other hand, I don't have to go crazy cutting it off. It doesn't look like it's black and causing an infection. So we'll just see what buds out, and then I'll prune back what doesn't bud out and see if we can still stimulate some branching off or some bifurcation from there. See if we can get something to split off and make some twos. All right, that's kind of where I stand with my Cork Bark Oak. More fall stuff. It's just kind of, it's kind of like what fall does, the change of season does to my balcony. Like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. We're going to bring a few trees onto the bench tonight and do some work on them, and that always proves interesting for this place, kind of a vibe. And thank you so much for watching.